What's up everybody, my name is Kason and welcome back to another Pokemon Draft League video. Today is our first battle in the IBL or International Battle League. I am your coach of the Oregon Golducks and today we are going up against the Old English Eiscues, coached by Gert Bilbo, and should be an interesting matchup. To be completely honest, his team is very scary. I am not looking forward to trying to beat this team. It's going to be very tough. But as always, my roster is on the left side, his roster is on the right side. Obviously, a brand new roster, something different than our PUDL roster, but it should be entertaining, should be enjoyable. We'll see how it goes. So first of all, taking a look at some of the speed tiers, he's got a lot of really fast Pokemon. He's one of the only teams in the league that really can compete with mine on that upper echelon of speed tiers. And in a couple of these situations, or at least one specific situation, my Zoroark Hisuian has the exact same speed as his Ogerpon Wellspring, so I could be in a situation where I have to max speed that Zoroark to guarantee at least a speed tie. So that is something that I have to keep in mind as I'm going through this matchup. The scariest mon on his team is definitely the Spectrier, who can really get out of control. If it claims one kill, it gets a +1 boost to its special attack stat. It's a very fast Pokemon. It has a ridiculous special attack stat. If you guys have seen the PUDL, how my Glastrier has been really good, this thing is a less bulky version of Glastrier, but it hits just as hard and it's insanely fast. So that is something we really have to keep an eye on. It can be a very good Choice Scarf or Choice Specs user. So that is something we definitely have to be prepared for. Garchomp is always a problem. Mandibuzz is a very good defensive option. Tinkaton has really cool stuff as well with Stealth Rock, Fake Out, a bunch of really interesting stuff. But the one Pokemon that I am actually pretty afraid of here is the Kilowattrel on the other side. This is one of his Terra Captain options with Terra Flying, Terra Ground, and Terra Water. One Pokemon that I expect to bring most weeks this season is my Incineroar. However, you're going to see this week that I'm actually leaving it on the bench, and the reason for that is because of the Kilowattrel on the other side. Its ability, it gets multiple really good ones. It gets Volt Absorb, which is really nice. It also gets the one Competitive, which essentially makes it so that if you lower a stat on this Kilowattrel, its special attack is boosted by 2 stages. Now, the big thing about Incineroar is he can be a really good option against physical attackers on the other side because you switch him in, Intimidate goes off, lowering their physical attack stat by 1. However, if I'm doing that and Kilowattrel shows up, it gains a +2 special attack boost. So it's something I really need to watch out for. The fact that it can also set up its own Tailwind and really do a bunch of damage, it is very scary. So honestly, Spectrier, Kilowattrel, Ogerpon, and Garchomp are probably the 4 scariest mons on his team. I understand they're also the 4 fastest mons on his team, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. But that being said, let's take a look at what we decided to bring this week. So kicking things off, we are bringing our Jesus LBL, aka Dragapult, one of the Pokemon that I think I'll probably bring almost every single week if I'm honest. This guy is just absolutely cracked. For the set this week, it's a pretty generic set, nothing real fancy about it. We've got max special attack to basically do as much damage as possible. We are running a Timid Nature with 160 bonus EVs in speed to put us at 396. This is essentially so that we will outspeed the Spectrier on the other side, and we've also got 96 into HP investment. So a little bit of bulk might help us live a hit, especially with the item Berry. This is something that allows us to basically have the damage from a special or super effective dark type attack on the other side. He does have a couple of mons that can be using moves such as Knockoff or something similar, and even the Spectrier on the other side may be able to launch a Dark Pulse, and if it does that, we will be able to mitigate that damage really well. This thing is made to basically stick out there. If Spectrier is alive, I need to keep this thing alive, is basically what I'm trying to say. Unless it's a Choice Scarf Spectrier, this is my answer to it, as it does outspeed it, and it should one-hit KO it with a Shadow Ball. Draco Meteor is here just to do a ton of damage to pretty much anything on his side that isn't a fairy. U-Turn is here for pivot, and Will-O-Wisp is a really nice option against some of the physical threats on his team, because if I'm able to burn him, not only will I do damage over time, but I will also mitigate how much physical damage that they get to do. Ghost type damage is actually pretty decent into his team overall, and for that reason, I'm also running Zoroark Hisuian this week, aka Guesswork. And now, honestly, I think my strategy going into this week, I think I've said this before, Zoroark's ability is Illusion. He basically disguises himself as the Pokemon that's last in your party, so you can choose who that is before you enter the actual fight. I'm planning on that probably being Dragapult for the simple fact that one of the biggest threats on his team is his Spectrier, who likes to click Shadow Ball. And if he does that, if it's a Choice Scarf Spectrier, he's going to see Dragapult on the other side, and he's going to want to click Shadow Ball and kill that thing right away. Well, if I am able to get Zoroark out there and basically disguise myself as Dragapult, I will basically negate that Shadow Ball damage and just nuke it back with a Shadow Bolt on my side. I realized that I forgot to switch the ability and item down on the bottom. That is incorrect. This week we are actually running a Choice Scarf, and it is the Illusion ability. So just a heads up, we are Choice Scarf, so we're going to be faster than basically everything on his side, unless it's like a Choice Scarf Spectrier. But pretty much we're going to outspeed pretty much everything. We're running Shadow Ball instead of its signature attack, Bitter Malice. The damage is pretty comparable. Bitter Malice actually lowers physical attack by 1 stage, but for 2 reasons I want to run Shadow Ball. 1, because I'm going to disguise the Zoroark as the Dragapult, I want to use Shadow Ball because it's a move that Dragapult uses all the time. So if I'm able to click that and he doesn't actually hit me back, there's a chance that he will not know whether it's actually Zoroark or Dragapult, which is very, very nice. If I use Bitter Malice, the other thing is if I lower the physical attack of that competitive Kilowattrel, it'll boost its special attack, and that is a situation that I want to prevent. With a Timid Nature, 252 speed and 252 special attack, it's a really, really basic set, but this thing is basically just here to smack something in the face as hard as it possibly can. The fact that it has the exact same base speed as Ogerpon Wellspring, I want to make it as fast as possible so that at minimum, I will speed tie it. I have Dark Pulse here for extra coverage, same thing with Hyper Voice, and ultimately U-Turn again to pivot out into something else. The third attacker on my team, who is another special attacker who is here to just rip holes into the enemy team, again, pretty basic set, max 252 special attack, 224 into speed with a Timid Nature and 32 in HP. We have Kells, our Enamorous. Now, this thing is running Contrary and Choice Specs. For the ability Contrary, if he does click something like Defog on the other side, we will become more evasive. Honestly, I don't really expect to get anything out of this ability. I probably could have ran Cute Charm, but I think it's more likely that I will get some benefit out of this one instead. Ultimately, Moonblast goes pretty damn hard into his team, so I'm running Choice Specs, and I plan on most situations just clicking that Moonblast as much as possible. Earth Power and Mystical Fire are again just here for coverage overall. Mystical Fire also can be useful to essentially lower the special attack on somebody else's side, and Healing Wish is here especially if I know that I have a different Pokemon who is a win con. Maybe my Kells is low HP. I can click Healing Wish, get the hell out of there, or at least sacrifice this thing and bring something else back up to full HP. Fourth Mon up to bat is Machen X, our Iron Treads, and we are running a very bulky set with 252 HP. We're also running a really fast set with 224 speed, 32 attack overall. Now this thing is running the Booster Energy item. I do plan on leading this thing. This thing is a pretty decent lead into his team. It can set up Stealth Rocks if I want to set up hazards. It has Rapid Spin to clear them on the other side. Earthquake can hit quite a few enemies on the other side, and Knockoff is really good to just honestly just eliminate items. The main reason for the Booster Energy here is just in case he runs something like a Choice Scarf on certain mons, we will guarantee that we will outspeed those things regardless. Also the fact that he could run a Garchomp as a lead. Garchomp is typically a decent lead as it threatens a lot of Pokemon and can also run Stealth Rock itself. I think we will be in decent shape here. We should live an Earthquake from the Garchomp unless it gets a physical attack boost. And with that Booster Energy, we're going to get 2 attacks off before it does. And if it goes for a Dragon Dance on turn 1, we're still going to be faster. So ultimately, this is our lead this week, and hopefully it can put in some good work. The Terra Captain we're bringing this week, though, is Meeple, our Vaporeon, and we are bringing Terra Poison. Honestly, Terra Poison is not good into the Garchomp, but the reason we are running Terra Poison this week is so that we can basically hard wall the Ogerpon Wellspring. Ogerpon Wellspring, the 2 big moves it's going to use are a Grass type move and a Water type move. Our ability is Water Absorb, so that not only do we not take damage from water attacks, we actually are going to heal back if we get hit by one. The Terra Poison is here because it makes us resist Grass type damage. So honestly, if we are there in front of Ogerpon Wellspring, unless it is running, I think it gets like Stomping Tantrum or something, I think that's unlikely. This thing will basically just hard wall it, and basically I can heal itself back up and maybe even heal an ally because of the set that we are running. We are running the move Wish, which essentially makes it so that a couple turns after using the move, the Pokemon that accepts the wish, which is basically the Pokemon that's out on the field, this can be Vaporeon or something else, will basically be healed by 50% of Vaporeon's HP. The fact that Vaporeon has so much HP means that Wish can heal other Pokemon really, really well. And that is ultimately why we're putting 252 into HP as well. So 252 in HP, 252 into defense with a plus defense nature. We should even live an Earthquake from Garchomp unless he has a boost if we are full HP. So this thing is really, really bulky. And honestly, I think the speed stat is wrong here. I think I forgot to change that. But it is a minus speed nature. This is so that if we flip turn against something, that ultimately we will switch out after that opposing Pokemon switches. This is very important because if we click Wish and then we try and flip turn out to heal a different Pokemon, we don't want to switch into our other Pokemon and then have that Pokemon deal catch damage before it catches the heal. For the offensive options, we have Scald. This is a really good water stab attack that can also have a chance to burn the enemy. I think it is like a 30% chance, which is fantastic. And Terra Blast is good for extra damage in terms of poison damage because it can hit that Ogerpon Wellspring incredibly hard. And last but not least, we have Kayuma, our Quaquaval, and this week we are running the Moxie ability and Choice Band. Now, honestly, my plan for this thing is basically to not come out until it's near the end of the game. I'm hoping that it can just be a late game sweeper. If I can get rid of the Ogerpon Wellspring on the enemy team, there is a good chance that I can just sweep with an Aqua Step Moxie Choice Band. It's going to hit so ridiculously hard. It only takes one kill to be able to outspeed basically his entire team. So honestly, I think it's set up pretty well here. With 252 speed investment with a Jolly nature, 252 into the attack as well. I think we're set up pretty well. Aqua Step, Close Combat, Triple Axle, and Flip Turn. The Flip Turn is here to basically pivot out into something else, and the Triple Axle is really, really good damage. It one-hit KOs the Garchomp, and it also, I believe, one-hit KOs the Mandibuzz, which is crazy because Mandibuzz can be really, really bulky, but this move hits really hard, and with Choice Band, it is going to wreck things. So ultimately, guys, that is the team for this week. I'm looking to see how we can start off the season. Let's jump into the fight. All right, guys, so we are loaded in here up against Gert Bilbo and the Old English Eiscues, I believe is the team name. This should be an interesting one. So taking a look at the team that he's got on the other side, he does have that Terra Kill Awatrol, which we were fearing. So I am glad I didn't bring the Incineroar. Brings the Garchomp, Ogerpon, Okidogi, who honestly I don't know a whole lot about. I probably should have done more research on that thing. Mandibuzz and Spectrier. So I think 5 out of the 6 mons we definitely saw coming. The Okidogi, I know it gets Toxic Chain, but that's about it. So I'm going to lead Machen X here. This was my plan from the start. And I'm just going to pile everyone else in. And so I'm making sure to put Jesus LBL as the 6th mon here. Because I want Guesswork to be able to be disguised as Jesus LBL. I think it's really obvious sometimes to lead Zoroark because I feel like turn 1 is when the enemy thinks about it the most. Like they see Zoroark on the other side and your thought is immediately like, okay, turn 1 I need to figure out whether this thing is Zoroark. So I'm hoping to just bring it in later in the fight and maybe he will forget. But we'll see. So Zapdos Light comes out, so immediately it's the Kilowattrol. This is pretty good for us, I think. This lead is really solid. Unless, actually, I take that back. He could go Terra Water or Terra Ground. It could be trouble. But honestly, if he does that, at least if he does it on turn 1, that's pretty solid. I think I just want to go for a knockoff here. If this thing is like Choice Specs or Choice Scarf, I'd like to get rid of that. And if he's going to Terra, I want to see it turn 1. It's possible he just Terra Waters or Terra Grounds and just wrecks us, but we'll see how it goes. I want to knock him off. He also could go for like something like a Tailwind or something similar. We'll see. So he does not switch out. So what does he go for? Knockoff actually does really solid damage. Heavy duty boots, which is nice. So if we get rocks up and he just goes for a U-turn, this is fantastic. This is a really solid first turn for us. We do a really solid amount of damage. We should outspeed basically anything that he brings in because of our booster energy. I'm honestly surprised at how much damage we did because I don't think we have like almost any attack investment on this guy. He goes Toro Naga, which is Ogerpon Wellspring. Do I die to an Ivy Cudgel here? So if this thing is Adamant, it has a good chance to KO us. And if it's Jolly and he high rolls, we'll die. So I think I have to swap here. The obvious play is he goes Ivy Cudgel. So this switch into Vaporeon might be obvious, but I think I have to make this play regardless. I don't want to just lose Iron Treads to an obvious Ivy Cudgel turn 1 when I could switch into Vaporeon. So he goes for knockoff. So he goes for the middle play. That's a smart move by him. So he knocks off my leftovers, which is a little bit annoying. But I think now, because we're in front of this Ogerpon, I just Terra Poison. And I don't think he's going to want to stay in against us. He might even predict the Terra Poison. I kind of don't care that much about it. I think I want to Wish, though, and just see what he does. Because if I click Wish and he goes for an attack that's not a water attack, I can stay in and basically just heal myself up to full. If he switches, then I can easily switch next turn. As much as I want to Terra Blast, I don't think he's going to let me do this for free. So I think I'm just going to go Wish here. If he stays in, I'm going to regret it, but I don't think so. He does switch. Okay, good. I would have felt pretty silly if, honestly, I didn't go for Terra Blast and he stayed in, but... So he goes into Garchomp. That makes sense, as it would be the Terra Blast switch in. So he predicts the Poison Terra, so this is a good swap by him. We do get the Wish off, which means he's going to be faster than us on this next turn. And we don't have Protect this week, so I'm not going to be able to flip turn out. I'm going to have to hard switch into something, but that's okay. And honestly, if I hard switch into something and he goes for an Earthquake, we should be able to like heal back up with the Wish anyway. So what do I want to go into to take this? It's got to be Kells. I think this is an insta swap. If he has Iron Head, he could hurt us. I guess technically he could have Stone Edge too. I think Iron Head's more likely because it's 100% accurate. If he makes that prediction, I don't think he should one-shot us regardless. I don't think. So we just go Wish here, and if he does hit us, we should be able to heal back with the Wish shortly after. And we can always just Moonblast on the next turn. Well, we'll see what he goes for. He could always just go for Rocks too, predicting the switch. So he does, actually. I wish I didn't speak that into existence. So he goes for Rocks. That's a bit annoying. I'll have to get an Iron Treads in here to spin him at some point, but I'm just going to click Moonblast, I think, because there's really not much on his team that wants to take this. So he does switch. So I don't think he's... Well, actually, if he was Scarf, he couldn't do anything other than Stealth Rock. Though I don't think he is going to be Scarf if he led with Stealth Rock. Moonblast hits Okidogi, honestly, for pretty good damage here. This thing could go for a Poison Jab, though, and kind of wreck us. Is this thing one-shot us with Poison Jab? Yeah, this thing 100%... This thing 100% one-shots us with Poison Jab. I know this is the obvious switch, but I think I just make this anyway. I don't know... Other than, like, maybe a knockoff, I don't know what he would really hit us for. And we don't have an item on Machin anymore. So if he does go for a knockoff, honestly, like, we shouldn't take that much damage from it. So I think this is a pretty safe switch. So we just go into Machin. So we swap. I mean, we're faster, so we don't know if he swapped yet, because we would swap first. We'll see. But I think he probably just goes for Poison Jab. I hope. That would be nice. Oh, he Terras. Okay. I honestly forgot this thing could Terra. I was so set on the Kilowattrel tearing, I forgot about that this thing could do it. But honestly, that makes me happy, because I really didn't want to see the Terra Kilowattrel. So we'll see. So he does go for Poison Jab. Hell yeah. Okay. This is perfect. So we read the Poison Jab. He's Terra Fairy. I unfortunately don't have Iron Head, but he doesn't know that, right? So he's probably going to switch here, I would think. But what is he going to switch into? I could go Rapid Spin, but I feel like that's obvious, and he goes into Spectrier to deny it. So I feel like I could just get my own rocks off. It sounds weird when I say that. I could get my own rocks up slightly better. I think that's what I want to do. Because Rapid Spin, Spectrier is a really safe switch into that, and I don't want to be in front of Spectrier. I could knock off. I think Stealth Rock's the play. So he withdraws. Okay, good. I was going to say, I don't know what he could really go for. So he goes for Garchomp again, which makes sense. Unfortunately, we don't have our booster energy anymore. So I think we outspeed if he's not Scarf, but I don't know that for sure yet if he is. The fact that he's bringing this in, the problem is too, we don't one-shot it. So even if I Earthquake him here, it's not a one-shot, so I don't think I can afford to stay in. I just really hope this thing doesn't Dragon Dance, but I think I have to go into Kells here no matter what. This thing is here basically to beat the Garchomp, so I think I have to go in here and just Moonblast on next turn. So we switch into Kells, so we go in Amorous. Now what does this guy go for? Does he go for another Earthquake? So far he hasn't really made any like reads other than the one knockoff. At some point he's going to, I'm sure, but so this time we do get the Earthquake again. So far our swaps are going really well. And I just click Moonblast again. So we lock into Moonblast. What is he going to do now? He didn't reveal Iron Head or Stone Edge before. All we've seen is Stealth Rock and Earthquake, so we'll see. We should be faster, again, unless this thing is Scarfed, but if it is Scarfed, it wouldn't have anything to go for because it's only shown Earthquake. So he swaps out. So something is going to take a ton of damage from this Moonblast. Zapdos light, so he doesn't even care about the kilowatt roll. This thing is dead. Especially with the heavy-duty boots, there's zero chance this thing lives. So we're on the board. Let's go. Kells picks up a kill. Kilowattrel's down. So this is a pretty solid start. And I don't know why I thought it was Choice Specs. We're Life Orb. I think I put on my team preview that we're Choice Specs. We're definitely Life Orb. Oops. I think I wrote that down. That's fine. So he goes Pone. That's got to be Spectre. Yeah, okay. So we're not Scarfed, so this thing outspeeds us. Now, this is a problem. How do I want to do this? I have to go into either... I have to make a 50-50 read, I think. Yeah, I have to make a 50-50 Dark Pulse or Shadow Ball. I think I'm going to go into Guesswork. It makes most sense that he would want to go into Shadow Ball. I know that he knows that I have Zoroark in the back, but I think he just goes for his strongest attack and tries to get a boost. And I don't know if this thing is Scarfed or Spec. So if it's locked into one thing, I would rather have it be locked into Dark Pulse than Shadow Ball. And if it goes for Shadow Ball and it's locked in, then Guesswork is in an amazing position. So please show me the Shadow Ball and not the Dark Pulse. If it's Dark Pulse, this is going to suck. If it's Shadow Ball, this is, like, incredible for us. So it looks like it's Dragapult, but it's not. Show me Shadow Ball. Damn it. That was a good read. That was a good read by him. Oh, that sucks, man. We lose the Zoroark before it even gets a chance to do anything. That's brutal. Damn it. So Guesswork goes down. And now the problem is that thing is so squishy. I don't know if this thing is locked in or not. I don't know if it's Specs or Scarf. But I think I have to just go Dragapult here and find out. Because the problem is, like... I don't know. I don't know what else to do. He's +1. I need to find out if he's Scarfed. If he's Scarfed, this might be game over anyway. We're going to find out. I'm going to click Shadow Ball and pray that he's not Choice Scarf. We're going to find out. He switched. Okay, so he's not Scarfed. So it's possible he's Specs still, because we would outspeed and he wouldn't want to stay in and die. He still could be Specs, but he's not Scarfed. There's no way he's Scarfed. So Shadow Ball is not going to do much for Mandibuzz. That thing eats it like crazy well. Now I could go for a Will-O-Wisp to just to burn this thing. But I think U-turn probably makes more sense. This thing could go for like knockoff or U-turn. This thing also could get Rocky Helmet. So do I want to even U-turn chip it? I think I do. Yeah, I'm going to U-turn. We'll see. Maybe he just switches. I don't know why he would. Man, I felt like the early part of this game was going really well, but that sucks losing the Zoroark to that Dark Pulse. That was a good move by him. I need to... So he switches. Wow. I'm a bit surprised by that. So this U-turn looks really good for us now. So it's Garchomp. Is it Rocky Helmet? Is the question. We're going to find out. So U-turn does a little bit of chip. Rough Skin hurts us. Is it Rocky Helmet? It is not. Okay. So I think we easily just go into Enamorus now. That U-turn looking really good, I think. I could go into Kayuma because I don't think I get one-shot by anything it does. Could Aqua Step here, but I feel like Kells is the better play. He hasn't shown a way to hit the Kells, and Kells should be faster. So I think I just go in and click Moonblast because he's made a lot of switches just like I have. And I think Moonblast just hits his whole team so hard. I think this is the play. So we're taking a lot of Stealth Rock tip, which sucks, but Moonblast should easily one-hit KO this thing, so I can't imagine he keeps it in. But anything on the enemy team is going to take a ton of damage from this. So Moonblast feels like a really good play. So this should do a ton. He is Scarf. Wait, what? That crit doesn't matter, and he hits the Stone Edge. Wow. Shit, he disguised that so well, actually. Wait, did I miss something? How did I miss that he was Scarf? He went for Rocks on the first turn he was out. He went for Rocks and then he did Earthquake later. Damn. Well done by him. I didn't screw up my speed stat, right? 335. No, my speed stat is right. So this thing is Choice Scarf, which means he's locked into Stone Edge. So I got to go Machin here, which would be a free switch because I won't really take any damage. Damn, that sucks though. Enamorus was going really hard into his team. That Life Orb Moonblast was just crushing. That really sucks. So he's locked into Stone Edge here. I think... So how do I want to play this? So I could Rapid Spin to get rid of the rocks. I kind of want to do that because I'm taking a lot of chip from it, from all the switching. But again, he could just go Spectrier, and if he does that, that's really rough for me. So I could switch into something here because I know he's going to switch out. There's no way he Stone Edges in front of Machin. Knockoff seems like a good play. Knockoff's like a good in-between, because something's going to lose its item. Joe Exotic. That is the Okie Dokie. Damn, I was really hoping that was the Spectre coming in. That would have been really nice to hit with knockoff. So that doesn't do much damage. It loses Assault Vest, which really doesn't matter for what we have in now. I think Earthquake kills here, but again, I don't think this thing can really do damage to me. It switched out last time when it was in front of me. I don't think it can really hurt me. It's Poison Dark. Again, knockoff wouldn't do like any damage. Terra Fairy wouldn't do any damage. So I don't know what he would get that would hurt me, so I'm just going to Rapid Spin. It's the same as last turn. I mean, he could switch in Spectre again just like last time, but I don't know. This feels pretty safe. If he goes Spectre, it is what it is. But I just want to get rid of these rocks. I'm sick of them. They're doing a lot of damage. So he switches in. Maybe he's just sacking this thing? I don't know. I don't know what else he'd be going for. Oh my god. I'm playing like garbage. I should have looked this up. He has Drain Punch. That does so much damage and heals him up. Man, that's rough. Oh man, I should have looked this up. I feel like, man, my prep this week was nowhere near as good as it normally is. I feel like I spent all my time prepping for my playoff match in my other league. Shoot. Do I need Machen anymore? I hate to lose it, but what do I switch into here? Because if he goes Fairy, Terra Blast, Kayuma gets wrecked. Jesus would get wrecked by that. I don't think there's any switch I want to make. I think I just Earthquake to get a chunk. Man, that is brutal. I should have just Earthquaked instead of Rapid Spin. Earthquake would have killed. I just thought this thing couldn't hurt me, and I sure didn't think it had Drain Punch to heal back. This is what I get because I've never played against Okidogi before, like literally ever in my life, and I don't know what it gets, and I should have looked that up. I should have learned my mistake by one of my first ever Draft League matches. I got wrecked by a Swanna because I didn't know what it did. I need to look up all the Pokemon. Knockoff does not kill, so we should be able to kill with an Earthquake here. He doesn't go for Drain Punch. He expected the switch. Either that or he's perfectly fine just losing this thing. But I don't know if a knockoff even kills us. I could go Dragapult on the expected Drain Punch, but I think he's fine losing this thing, which means he's probably going to knock off again. Vaporeon already lost the item, so knockoff and Drain Punch would do very little. Terra Fairy, Terra Blast would do basically nothing. So I think Vaporeon's actually the play here, because as much as I thought Machen walled this thing, Vaporeon definitely does at this moment. I don't think there's anything he can do that will remotely hurt this thing. It did 80? That did more than I thought. We have no item. I'm surprised that did that much, I guess. We just wish here to heal back up. I think he's going to switch, I would think. I don't think he's going to let us just like freely heal a ton of HP. Because we already revealed the wish earlier in the fight. I'm hoping we can bring this back. We're not down a ton. Honestly, that play where we lost the Zoroark is brutal. I honestly should have had something with Assault Vest this week. I don't know what I was thinking going into a Spectre without an Assault Vest on the team. I really should have spent more time on prep this week, but that's a rookie mistake. We're still getting used to the team. Knockoff again for 80 damage. That's perfectly fine. We're going to catch a wish like shortly after, and we're going to heal so much damage back. So now I think I want to click Scald. I don't think this guy is going to just stay in because I think he wants to pressure it. Either that or I swap into Machen to catch the wish. But I think Vaporeon's more important right now than Iron Treads. Again, I think this guy, I think he's fine losing this thing, but he doesn't want my Vaporeon to just heal up for free. So I think I go for a Scald. If he switches into Garchomp and I burn with a Scald, this could literally be like the play that could win me this game. Legitimately. Because if I burn the Garchomp, it's not going to deal nearly enough damage. And the Scarf Chomp is no longer a huge problem. It's like a 30% burn chance on Scald. I think this is the play. I think he goes Garchomp. He does switch. Please tell me it's Garchomp. Tell me we get a burn. That would be so big. I think that's Chomp. Please burn. Please burn. Vaporeon, please come through for me. I know it's only a 30% chance, I think, but please, God. Please catch a burn. Damn it. Oh, man, that would have been so huge. That would have been so huge. Do we die to an Earthquake here? So I don't think we die to an Earthquake with Vaporeon, but he's probably Adamant, and it's going to be really close. We're going to be insanely low, and I think we have to save this thing for later. I don't think we can afford to lose it. So I think we just go into Machen, and we see what he locks himself into. If he locks himself into Earthquake, then at least we have that knowledge and we can go into like Quackle Wall or something. The one nice thing about him being Scarf is we know what he's going to be locked into. So we do lose Iron Treads. That sucks, but honestly, I really didn't want to take almost the entire HP bar on Vaporeon. I don't think that's the right play. So now, because he's locked in Earthquake, we can't go Vaporeon. So Quackle Ball lives in Earthquake. So I think I bring it in here. And I think I just click Aqua Step. And try and go for a speed boost and Moxie play. I think this is like the best opportunity I think I'll have for it, because we live in Earthquake. I could predict the switch into something else and go triple Axle. I think this is the play though. Aqua Step should kill from this range. Although he has Ogerpon in the back with Water Absorb. I feel like it's a pretty safe switch for him to go Ogerpon. I could go Close Combat, but again, Spectre would take no damage from that. I think Aqua Step is the play to make myself faster. He does switch. This is Ogerpon. I am really regretting the fact that I'm Choice Band this week. I don't know why I went Choice Band, because this was man. This was the first time that I feel like I've made really poor decisions in prep. Because doing Choice Band on Quackle Ball means I'm locked in against a Water Absorb mon. That's so stupid. I don't know why I did that. I think I go Meefle here now. Again, it should hard wall this Ogerpon, so I'm just going to switch. I just feel so stupid for going Choice Band. If I didn't go Choice Band, I could have just clicked like Swords Dance or something and honestly maybe just like swept this game right here. Well, legitimately, if I didn't have Choice Band and went Swords Dance and then just went like Triple Axle or Close Combat, I think I kill that thing. Vaporeon's gonna come in though, and it should wall this thing. This is an interesting experience though. Honestly, this is a fun battle because it's a very, very different style battle than most of the Draft League battles I've done. My PUDL team is like so high octane. I'm just like offensive pressure all the time, like hyper offense. This team is very much different. It's like pivoting around and finding the opportunities. And I think it's good for me. I think there's going to be some learning pains along the way, or growing pains, but I think ultimately it should make me a better player, which I'm kind of looking forward to. So he goes Spectrier, and we switch into Meefle, which honestly is decent. I kind of wish we were Dragapult, because we could one-shot this thing, but I think we just could Scald again to try and get a burn. I could also go for Wish, though, because if this thing attacks, we can set up a heal for later. I feel like this thing is just going to switch. I feel like this thing is just going to switch back into Garchomp. Do I just Flip Turn expecting him to switch into Garchomp? I think so. Yeah, I'm just going to go Flip Turn here. I think he's going to switch back into Garchomp. No, he goes Shadow Ball. Okay. This is fine. Because now, so we take a chunk, we take a good amount of damage, but we Flip Turn out, deal a little bit of chip. If it wasn't guaranteed before, Dragapult 100% kills this thing with a Shadow Ball now, like guaranteed. So now we just go Dragapult now. And I think we just fire off a Shadow Ball. Because there's no way he's going to stay in and take this. Man, do I U-turn out instead? I could even go for Will-O-Wisp for a burn on the Garchomp. But no, he's not going to switch in Garchomp. He's going to sacrifice something else. I click Shadow Ball here. I'm pretty sure something is going to die or come close. He's not going to get rid of Spectre because he wants this thing for the end game. I think the two mons that he's going to try and keep are... well, I guess he wants the Ogerpon for Quackle Ball too, to be fair. So he's probably going to go into the Okidogi, I think, and just sack it off, if I had to guess. If he somehow gives me this Spectre, I am ecstatic. But I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think there's a chance that he does that. But we go Shadow Ball. So he switches out. What is he going to go into? Joe Exotic. That's the Okidogi. So this thing's dead. So it takes Stealth Rock Chip. Not that it really matters. This Shadow Ball would take care of it anyway. So Dragapult's on the board with a kill, which is nice. I think we're still in a 3v4, which is rough. It's going to be hard to overcome this. So now he's just going to go Garchomp here because he's got the Scarf. And he knows that we're not Scarfed. We revealed that earlier. Because I think we did Shadow Ball and U-turn. I kind of wish I didn't reveal that because then I could have at least pressured him into not knowing whether I'm Scarfed or not. Yeah, this is the Garchomp. This Choice Scarf is brutal for me. This thing is really low. I need to somehow get rid of it. But now here's the question. What do I think he's going to go for? What do I think he's going to go for? I can't go to Quackle Ball because I'll get two-shot by anything. If he goes Dragon Claw, Meefle lives it, but Dragapult doesn't. If he goes Earthquake, Dragapult lives it, but Meefle doesn't. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is a 50-50. What do I think he goes for? Dragon Claw or Earthquake? If he goes Earthquake, I need to stay in. If he goes Dragon Claw, I need to switch. I feel like he wants to kill this Garchomp. feel like he wants to kill this Garchomp, right? I'm gonna go Meeful. I think he wants to kill this Garchomp. I think he wants to go for a Dragon Claw. Because he's gonna lock himself into something. And we'll see. And if it is Dragon Claw, Quackle Ball can come out and kill it on the next turn. It is Earthquake. Ah, damn it. I got that read wrong again. That sucks. Maybe he thought Earthquake killed Dragapult, but it doesn't from this range. So now I just go back into Dragapult here. That sucks. So we go Dragapult here. We should live this Earthquake every time unless he crits. Man, it sucks. Had I known he was going to go for Earthquake, I would have just stayed in here. And honestly, I think we could have won this, but now I feel like the game's probably over after we lost Vaporeon. But I should Shadow Ball here. I think I should live. Unless I'm calculating something wrong, we should live and we should kill back with Shadow Ball. And the fact that he went for Earthquake makes me think he thinks this kills, but we have more bulk than he realizes. Yeah, we live on 14. Man, I'm kicking myself now for swapping. Shadow Ball's gonna kill. Garchomp dies. Man, if we had Meeful in this spot, I think we could have still won this game. Because we outspeed the Spectrier, and there's no rocks up. Oh, man. I think that was a throw. But I didn't know. If he went for Dragon Claw, then we just lose the game right there. So it was a 50-50, and we got it wrong. It is what it is. We got to keep Dragapult alive right here. Okay, hold on. Can we win this? So I don't want to U-turn, because this thing could be Rocky Helmet. I need to go into Kayuma here. If he goes for Knockoff... Hold on. I think there's a, like, tiny chance that we can win this game. Like, really small chance if he goes for Knockoff. If we go into Quackle Ball, he goes for Knockoff and gets rid of our Choice Band, it means that we won't be locked into a move. We could kill and then still be able to, like, Aqua Step on something that's not Ogerpon. I'm just going to switch. I don't want to U-turn. As much as I would like to U-turn, we don't need it to get the kill with Triple Axle, I don't think. And if it's Rocky Helmet, then we're just going to instantly kill ourselves with the U-turn. So I'm going to go Quackle Ball. I think this game is over no matter what. Oh, gosh, yeah. Now it's over. We live. Oh, man, the Brave Bird. That's a good play. I wish it was I wanted the knockoff. We're just going to go Triple Axle here because, I mean, we can't win this at this point. I don't think. Maybe with, like, 2 Draco Meteor crits. I think that's the only way we can win this game. I'm just going to Triple Axle. If he keeps this thing in, this should kill with Choice Band. So he does stay in. As long as we don't miss, this should kill. Please hit. Let's go. Quackle Ball popping off. We get a kill. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough because we don't get the speed boost because we didn't go for Aqua Step. Which means this Ogerpon's going to come in right here and just kill us. And there's nothing we can do about it because we can't switch into Dragapult. So the only way we can win this game is I think we need a Draco Meteor crit on both Ogerpon and then the Spectrier. So that's like a, what's 16 times 16? 1 in that many chances. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I have to click Triple Axle here. So, yeah, it's just going to go for Horn Leech. We're going to drop. And unless we get 2 straight Draco Meteor crits, I think this game's going to be over. Honestly, this was a fun game. I feel like I sound like I'm down, but honestly, I had a good time. It was a fun match. I had a good time battling. It was a fun match, but yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get the better end of it. I think that Dark Pulse read to take out my Zoroark was a really good play by him. I was really hoping for the Shadow Ball because Shadow Ball is going to hit my team generally harder, but he made a hard read and saw the Zoroark coming. Yeah, we don't get a crit. So yeah, GG's to my opponent. Gert Bilbo, he played really well, honestly. I think I had the advantage early in the game, and he made some really nice plays to come back and put himself in a good spot. I wish I would have prepped better for this week, honestly. I ran a lot of generic sets. I should have had at least 1 Assault Vest for the Spectrier. And I definitely should not have Choice Banded Quackle Ball with a Water Absorbmon on the other team. I'm definitely going to learn my lesson for next week. Yeah, GG's to my opponent, Gert Bilbo. He played really well. Shout out to him, man. Congratulations on the win. And I can promise you guys in the future weeks, I'm going to bring some more Heat sets and we'll definitely get some wins. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching and have a wonderful day.